Welcome to Hats Off to Aging. I'm here with CEO and President Larry Mathieson. Hi, Larry. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great today. Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. Let's talk about what's going on in June.
Well, June is a big month for us at Viner Center. The first of the month starts with Seniors Week, and so Seniors Week is typically the first full week of June, and this week that just conveniently falls June 1st to 7th. And then it's not long after June 15th is actually World Elder Abuse Day. And so we talk about and promote the issue of elder abuse.
All right. So let's start with Seniors Week. What does Seniors Week mean to you?
Well, we really use it to kind of celebrate all the things that seniors contribute in our community and draw a recognition to that. We also celebrate the things that people have done in their past, because really, in reality, seniors built Medicine Hat when they were younger, so to speak. But it is a good opportunity for us to celebrate that, but also to bring a lot of fun to the Viner Center. And so actually right now, on our webpage and on our Facebook page, you'll see a lot of the activities that are going on. Some of those activities throughout the year, we do our senior safety series. And so on a week like Seniors Week, it's like seniors safety on steroids, because we're doing all sorts of things several times a day. So there's a lot of activities to take advantage of.
Okay. What kind of activities are there to take advantage of during the week?
Well, we have everything from kind of fitness programming and recreational type activities to things like decluttering your closet. So like a webinar. And actually, as I was talking about this afternoon, two of our staff were saying, I think I'll have my kids come to that session. They're not seniors, but anyways, things that are relevant to seniors and things that help at that stage of life.
Yeah. How do we make safety into all that as well?
Well, it has kind of a number of dimensions. So obviously, elder abuse awareness, and so we do sessions on how the public can detect elder abuse or be aware of it, but also how seniors can be aware if they're being abused. But it is a full spectrum. So everything from seniors scams and scams that might be on the internet or phone or even in person. And so our safety series kind of covers a fairly broad swath.
Absolutely. Thank you. So speaking on issues that seniors can face, usually it's kind of ageism.
Yeah.
Let's talk about ageism and how it can be harmful.
Well, ageism obviously can lead to things like loneliness and depression, and there's kind of the inevitable decline of being the victim of ageism. And we use the month of June to create awareness around ageism, but also to combat it. And so, for example, Seniors Week, our active aging team is always trying to come up with something new that is outside of the stereotype of being older in Alberta. And so there's a couple of years we've taken seniors to axe throwing and things you don't typically associate, doing in your older years. Other one is we've taken groups of seniors and groups of our members to indoor parachuting. So we'll take them to iFly. And so we use it as, we do a lot of interesting activities in the month of June, but we also do activities that are really kind of aimed at breaking those stereotypes.
All right. What can we do more so to work at breaking those kind of stereotypes?
Well, I think, everybody is responsible for building a safe and accepting community. So I would say we're all in a way responsible to combat ageism and combat elder abuse, but also just creating awareness. So any kind of abuse doesn't flourish in brought, the light kind of thing. So if there's if people keeping an eye, paying attention to say seniors they know or they're related to, or people they know in their neighborhood.
Okay. How can we recognize elder abuse within our community or in our personal lives as well?
Well, I mean, we have outreach workers and caseworkers for sure. So if you're thinking someone may be a victim, they're definitely a good resource. But we do a lot of awareness building sessions, and so elder abuse can have a number of. It can be physical abuse, it can be emotional abuse, it can be sexual abuse, but often there's a financial component. And so often and it's often somebody known or close to a senior, often a relative, maybe taking advantage of their pension or something like that. So.
Okay. And what does Unison do to help change the narrative around ageism?
Well, again, like I say, we always are looking at ways to kind of combat the stereotypes. And one of the big ways this year is we've introduced a new service on our YouTube channel. And so it's essentially Unison TV. And so we do daily posts on our YouTube about unusual and inspiring stories about seniors. And so like this week, for example, we've posted a couple posts about a woman who is 87. Every year she does the Scotia Marathon. Well, this year she's had surgery for glaucoma, and so she's only doing the 5K this year. But, like when most of us, if we had some kind of eye surgery, we wouldn't be thinking, well, I don't think I can do my marathon. I'll have to do 5K. You might just be sitting it out this year. But no, she's going to get it done. And so we like to feature a lot of those stories, and we're kind of pulling those stories from people we know in Viner Center and Kirby Center in Calgary as well, but it's amazing what's out there. So again, showing people who are doing things that we might not think are typical for a senior.
Absolutely. That's amazing. I can't believe that she's still doing the 5K.
It is. It's amazing the stories that are under your nose. I mean, one of the stories that we've featured is one of our couples who takes ukulele lessons. And somehow we discovered, their daughter is in Nashville. I've forgotten who their daughter is, but it is on our YouTube channel. But she's a famous Nashville singer, and this family, this couple, this girl is in our center on a regular basis, and we didn't even know it. But also, kind of COVID created some situations where, during those COVID years, we were reaching out to people on Zoom, and because people were shut in, and if you just reached out to somebody in California or whatever, you were fairly likely to get somebody to say, yeah, I'll jump on Zoom, I'll do a video with you. And kind of one of our early presentations is we had this woman who has the world record for, in her 70s, having the longest appearance on American Ninja Warrior. And so essentially we'd heard the story. Her daughter is an American Ninja Warrior athlete. She's been on television all the time. And coming up to her 70s, this woman just said, hey, I want to do a pull-up. Will you teach me how to do a pull-up? And so her daughter designed a program for her. And lo and behold, she started going from doing a pull-up to doing adventure races and obstacle races and so on. And Jenny, ultimately, at some point, there was an opportunity to try the obstacles on American Ninja Warrior, and she got filmed on television as the oldest person who'd done it. I think she has 2 world records by now. But again, featuring those stories where it's just not a typical scenario and something that you don't think of a senior doing, but they're out there doing them. you know.
Yeah, that's amazing that,
Yeah.
you never thought you would do that. And you're never too old to really
Yeah.
go out there and try something new. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's amazing. So, what kind of things can the younger generations do to battle the ageism?
Well, I think awareness of it and awareness of what we believe as stereotypes, and it's often seniors, I think, will complain to us at times about how as people discount their not only their opinion but sometimes their right to have an opinion, and so there's almost an assumption, well, don't ask dad or don't ask mom because they're older, and so uh, having awareness of some of those beliefs for sure.
Okay, so June 15th is World Elder Abuse Day. What
Yeah.
does Unison do to bring information and resource to June 15th?
Well, obviously we do some presentations, and some of those are digital, some of those are in person, but we're trying to create awareness in the community in general, but also in the senior serving sector, or in the sector where the nonprofit agencies operate. But I think one of the things that's kind of unique about Medicine Hat in Alberta is the progressiveness around responding to elder abuse. And so, for example, we've had some type of elder abuse outreach or case management in Medicine Hat for a number of years now. I think it's over 5 years, probably. And we work with the Community Coordinating Council, but yeah, also in Alberta, in Calgary, we operate the Elder Abuse Shelter, which was actually the first purpose-built elder abuse shelter in North America. And so in Alberta, not only kind of our social agencies, but even our governments have been more progressive than many jurisdictions in creating awareness around elder abuse as an issue that should be addressed.
Yeah, how do they go about addressing a call?
Yeah. Well, I mean, our right here in Medicine Hat, you can reach out to our caseworkers in Viner Center, but we also have our elder abuse response line, and so people can call if they suspect somebody they know may be a victim of elder abuse, and our outreach workers, our outreach team can help give some direction or how what somebody might do in the situation, but also creating content online so people can search it and so on.
How long has Unison had the elder abuse line, EARL?
Earl. We started it in the 90s.
Okay.
And so I think it was 1999 that we opened the shelter. And at that point, we started working with the Calgary Police Service, and we opened up the line for people to kind of call into. And so people, if you are experiencing elder abuse yourself, you can call that line and we can help you. And that may involve a need for a shelter. But in Medicine Hat, we have some other alternatives. We use a model. It's called the Safe Spaces model, and so we create a safe space for someone in the community. So it's not. It is a physical structure, but I mean, essentially, we partner with lodges and seniors' residences to essentially create a wraparound shelter in place kind of thing.
That's great. That's what are some of the common forms of elder abuse that you see regularly?
Yeah. Well, you can see the whole spectrum, but one of the things is often financial is a strong component, and we see that often in cases. Not every time, but the majority of cases, there's some type of financial component. And so there's ways for us to help with financial presentations and awareness around support and fraud and so on. And so there's other ways besides dealing directly with elder abuse that we can prevent the likelihood of elder abuse for sure.
What are the best kind of ways to do to prevent elder abuse?
Well, I think again creating awareness, but also creating supports for people, personal directives and things like that. So getting uh, often I can think of a friend who their father was starting to get dementia and starting to um, have challenges kind of even with his daily living. And the friend just said, well, like we'll sell dad's house and then there'll be plenty of money to, you know, find a residence for him. But then you kind of had to stop the person and say, well, wait a second, you can't just sell somebody else's house. Like that's his house. And so, things you might take for granted is like, well, if someone has dementia, they obviously can't sell their house. Well, there needs to be some kind of legal mechanism in there, like some kind of power of attorney or some kind of directive. And so one of the things we do at Viner Center is we work with lawyers and estate planners and help provide sessions, not only to kind of our members, but their adult children in how to plan for some of the things that you may face is there's cognitive decline.
What are the key messages you would like the community to take away from what Unison brings?
Well, I think I would like people to think about the value our elders and older adults contribute in Medicine Hat, and I think COVID was kind of a good teacher for us. We had started to respond by creating some food security and some hamper programs, essentially for seniors who were shut in or had mobility issues. And one of the things we quickly realized was, well, most of the volunteers who were helping us with this were seniors themselves. And we kind of started to realize that as an organization, some of the things we do, Meals on Wheels is probably another perfect example where a lot of our volunteers are older. And so we think, well, Meals on Wheels is a great thing to do, but creating an opportunity to help others and to volunteer is also a really important part of what we do. And so we're now structuring a lot of programs and supports that not only may support a group, sometimes seniors, sometimes new Canadians or whatever, but a big part of the program is what seniors contribute to it. And creating that meaning and purpose and ability to continue to be a community builder or a supporter of your community. And so I think that's what I'd like people to pay attention to about what we do.
Yeah, that there's still so much life left, even.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I think that's exciting. So are you going to be alongside the lady in the 5K this year?
I might maybe do a little training. Maybe I'll do the marathon next year or something. But yeah, it's inspiring some of the people as we've done these segments for our YouTube channel, and you're looking for unusual things that our users and our members are doing. And it's interesting. You don't have to look too far. It's often under our nose, but as you start hearing people's story about what they're doing or maybe what they've done, it's quite amazing for sure.
Yeah, people are quite amazing. They've definitely been on so many great adventures.
Yeah. Seniors Week has historically, for the last couple of years, been a time where we always try to push that envelope and figure out, what's something that, nobody would expect Viner Center to be doing, or Kirby Center in Calgary to be doing. And I mentioned the indoor parachuting and the axe throwing, but like for years we've done seated yoga classes and Zumba and stuff like that. Well, now it's like, okay, well, how about Bollywood dance? Why don't we introduce Bollywood dance? And 2 years ago we had German long swords or something, or something that I hadn't actually even heard of at that point. And now we're trying to establish a seniors kettlebell class. And so just pushing that expectation level, but also creating something that all of our members look at and go, I've never done that, but that's pretty interesting. So for sure.
What kind of interesting things are we bringing this year to?
Well, this year we've got a couple of surprises, but I will say our active aging team is starting to introduce more classes and experiences that are fairly unique, and I think we have some pretty great instructors that telling them, it's like, yeah, okay, let's do seated yoga, that's great, we have lots of people, but what else could we do, and just kind of pushing that envelope a little bit.
Do you do some of the things with them? Did you do German longswords too?
I didn't, but I did Bollywood dance.
Oh.
And it is surprisingly exhausting. We actually, at one point after we had introduced it and done a couple sessions in the center, our staff team builder that we had the group that does the Bollywood dance come and do a session with our whole staff group. And so that was a good team builder, but it was, for all of our staff, people were pretty amazed by how it, how it has worked out, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, seeing you up there doing it with them too, I'm sure.
It's, gotta lead by example.
Of course. Yeah. Absolutely.
Behind me, you've probably seen a couple times our elder abuse response line. And again, our outreach workers and our case managers are happy to get back to people. We do get quite a bit of response on that line. So if you get the voicemail, we will get back to you for sure. But again, even if you're just wondering if you have seen some unusual behavior from a relative or a senior, in your community, please reach out to us for sure. And we have some great outreach staff here in Medicine Hat for sure.
Are the phone lines open all day? Is it just call? Can you text them as well?
It's like the elder abuse shelter, the caseworkers in our elder abuse shelter man the line. And so it is, our shelter operates 24 hours a day. So technically there are times where things may be busier in the shelter and the caseworkers are working with the residents of the shelter, but there is a response. There is people listening to the line around the clock. So. All
right, that's good. Is there an email? Can they reach online as well?
People can reach out to us through the info at YYC or at Viner email for sure, and it'll get forwarded to our outreach team, so that you can get a hold of us that way, or even just calling the Viner Center itself. They'll patch you through the office.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with us? Anything that you find is important that you would like to mention?
This is kind of a summer thing, not necessarily just a seniors week kind of thing, but at this time of year, we create Victor, the Viner Viper, and every year we start to build Victor, and Victor is essentially a bunch of painted rocks, and it is a real community builder. So like right now in Viner Center, you can go and there's a plastic lined table where you can paint rocks with any patterns you want. And so seniors and members do that in our center, but the local schools and some of the camps also paint rocks to build Victor. So that's something that'll go on all summer long, kind of thing. So
Where does Victor go after he's all painted up?
he actually gets kind of stored in the basement, but through the summer, if you come to the Lions Park, Victor surrounds the playground on the extremities of the playground. So,
All right. He's
yeah.
Victor the protection viper,
Yes,
I guess.
yes.
I bet you it looks pretty unique every time you do it.
Every year it's different, and it's a neat thing for the kids to kind of, they're painting their rocks at school, but bringing them over at some point, or camps doing the same thing. And but yeah, it is almost a very tranquil thing in the center to watch a couple seniors painting rocks all day long. And
They get really intricate.
get really intricate and really into it.
What are the key messages you would like people to take from this conversation?
Well, I think we would like people to kind of have an awareness of their own bias towards seniors, and so their own thoughts around ageism, and kind of the opposite of that being knowing what seniors in their life contribute, whether that's your parents or grandparents or whatever, and what they have contributed to Medicine Hat.
Yeah, their contribution doesn't just end when they hit a certain age.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming to talk to me today and tell us all about Seniors Week. And
My pleasure.
thank you so much.